Well, never mind.
Or I can go on.
I know you can. But easy now. Welcome, everybody. A lot of handouts, as always. We're killing the copy machine, but a lot of important stuff that we have to go over. Going to talk about some, me and Wendy might do another role play Q&A kind of thing, if we have time, which hopefully we will. ROC Title has some great stuff to talk about. I think John Morgan's coming by, because I have some questions for him about veterans, because what you should have that I just got today from NAR, I think it's on facts.realtor, it might not be, but you know these little consumer guides that we've put out? One is for open house, one is for written agreements, one is for fiduciary, and finally for veterans. So I would make copies of this every time you meet a vet. This is part of your consultation, okay? Because again, vets might be the ones that are most confused about how buying a house works. You know, they think it's free, they don't pay for anything, the VA does all, no closing cost. So this will help, I think, and add a lot of credibility also to your presentation. So kind of hang on to that. All right, gang, what do we got here? There's us. All right, gang, here we are, the mentees of the month. Chris Annabali is not here, but who is here? Who is here? Where is she? Where is she? Oh, there it is. She very nice. There she goes. Leah Carp, baby, you know?
Disclaimer, I did not ask for that much Photoshop.
That's right. That's right. And for what it's worth, a new agent to get into this now, I think they're crazy. No, I'm kidding. Of course not. No. Yeah, there you go. That's it right there, right? Yeah. And it's hard for the new agents. It really is. I mean, it's hard for experienced agents. But Leah comes every day. She's done classes and videos, and I think it's starting to pay off. So keep doing what you're doing, Leah. There, girl. Good job. And Annabali is not here today. So the Crowell Group, Annabali, Damon's here to accept an award on behalf of Chris. There he is, man. Okay. What else we got here? Let's do some numbers real quick. 7,368 total properties compared to last August was 4,800. Inventory is going up, gang. That's a good thing. Okay, it's a really, really good thing. And even prices have gone up. 447, 481, 579, 584, close enough. So August wasn't a bad month. These are kind of unofficial August numbers. We haven't gotten them from LVR yet, but they're pretty close. Okay, if you're really a nerd freak like me, this is September of last year. So if you want to track September, keep a hold of this one, and you can see how we're doing this year compared to last year. Okay, but I think the good news is that inventory is up. Why is it up? Well, why is it going up? Rates are still shitty, right? A little bit, the little 3-week window, and people.
Better the 3 point something. They're jumping at the bit because they're probably.
Do you think some sellers that paid attention to the news think that they don't have to pay another fee now and they want to list their house?
Exactly. Maybe.
I don't think there's a lot of those, but there might be some, right? So just kind of, I don't.
A little bit through the slow sells. So our sales are rolled down, so that's
Picking it up. Yeah, it's the last 4 months of the year. So we'll have the slowdown in November, December a little bit. But that's good news. Really, really good news, okay? I want to thank all you guys who, month after month, Judy's great at it, Mary's great at it, a lot of you are great at it, that send in agents that you know, or someone you know that's going to Key, and we hire them. So we had a great month last month. We had 13 new agents. Where's Joe Pinkston? Brand new. Joanne, say hi. Say hello, Joanne. Yay! Okay. I'm not sure who else is here, but I think half of them are brand new agents, and the other half are experienced. There's Liz. Say hello to Liz. Is Liz on? Oh, there she is. Liz Avila. There she is. Say hello to Liz.
And Jihad is here too.
Jihad. Look at it. And they're all in the front row. Look at that, Wendy. Good job. They're all in the front row. Wow. They never sit in the front row here, Where's Diana Parks? The whole gang is here, right? All right. Here, why don't you do this? No, I'm only kidding. Everybody's here, gang. But thank you all. And again, we got a few experienced agents that came over from the agency, from Simply Vegas. So thank you all for doing that. And again, once you get to 3, your $100 a month goes away for a year. So 3 people come in, it's worth $1,200 to you. So keep that in mind. That's a nice extra $1,200 in your pocket, okay? Make sure you have this in your listing presentation, buyer presentation that we're at the top of the list for last year, okay? A lot of stuff upcoming. When are we going to do this, Suze? When can they start registering, you think?
When it's available.
Okay. Soon. Soon would have been fine. I mean, we have plenty of time. But I think this is going to be fun. It's going to be something different. In the 5 or 6 years I've been here, we've never done a country theme. So I think it should be fun, a little bit different. Because it's a Christmas party. Yes, yes. Has anyone been to Stoney's at Santa Fe? Okay, they have a whole private area kind of outside. So it'll be December, but they'll have heaters on and stuff, and they have a lot of games back there, and it's all for us. So it should be a lot of fun, okay? The Northwest is doing it there also the week before us. So, maybe you might want to crash their party, just kind of sneak in there a little bit, just saying. Okay, if you're in the mood, next Tuesday, we're all going down, all the brokers are going down to Green Valley, and we're going to have a broker panel. We do this every quarter. We did it here a couple weeks ago, if you guys remember. So if you're in the mood, you want to get a breakfast for free, take a ride to Green Valley and harass the 6 of us, we'd love to see you in Green Valley, okay? Who has never been to the Green Valley office? 1, 2, 3, oh yeah, okay. Just saying, it might be worth a trip, You don't want your first trip to be there when you're meeting a client there, okay? So visit us down there next Tuesday. It'll be a lot of fun. Who doesn't have their ABR yet? Okay? Judy, okay. We've done a ton of these free classes. Take advantage of it. This is in the Northwest. Later in the month, 18th and 19th, Tamara is the trainer. She's great. She used to be an agent here with us. Now she has her own company, Tamara. Don't ask me how to say her last name. She's great. Take advantage of this. Even if you're new, like you could take it, Joe, but you're not going to get the designation because there's other qualifications. But who cares if you have an ABR on your card? Okay, it's the knowledge you're going to get from the class. So I would recommend. Huh?
You have 3 years to complete.
Once you pass the class? Oh, good. I didn't know
You
that.
also can use your 3 years back if you're already an existing agent with buyers or rentals, they told us in our class.
They'll take rentals too?
So they do 2 rentals.
In lieu of sales?
Yep.
Oh, guys.
It could be up to
You
3
should
years.
knock a couple of rentals out then. Okay, and then you actually get the designation.
Yes.
Okay? So please, cue the code off the screen, or it's in the packet, or you can call Kenzie. But it's through Key Realty School. So we're not really setting it up. It's all through Key. So Kenzie might not know how many people are registered yet because that QR code brings you to Key. Okay, so please consider that. Check out the new ROC title calendar. Very nice, easy to read. That is on the flip side of our calendar. Okay, not saying that ours isn't easy to read. Okay, but ours is a calendar. September. Theirs is a sheet. That's a calendar. But I like the contrast on both, okay? So as you can see, I don't know why, Tim, there's more training here in Summerlin than the other offices. Do we need it here? Is that the problem? Is it like, it was special, or?
In the sense that, look at this group of people, professionals here. That's why we want to do more.
What a guy. Good answer, Tim. Good answer. You're hanging out with Wendy and Suzanne here, All right, so that's the calendars, gang. Of course, we beat you to death with Justin. I think he's still doing these, right? Or are you doing them? Monday, Thursday?
Of the month of September.
Okay. For Josephine and Jihad and Liz, you should need to jump on these two. It's every Monday, every Thursday. It's an hour Zoom with an orientation on Realty One, the company, and our back office. And One Suite is our CRM, okay? And they're recorded. If you can't watch it this Thursday or Monday, they're all recorded at One Rock University or OneRockstars.com. Tim and Heather will show you where that is. But these are really important classes, particularly for the new agents. They really, really are. There's Rev Up. Last class is tomorrow. It's all on Zoom, no more live. It's going great on Zoom for the new agents. We're getting twice as many people on Zoom than we had show up here. Go figure. But hey, it is what it is. We'll take it on Zoom. Number 1 starts next Wednesday. I do number 1 next Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Hop on Zoom. A new schedule will be coming out. I thank you guys for doing the, a couple of weeks ago, we had 18 people, subscribers to the YouTube channel. Now we got 219. Ha-ha. Look at you guys. Look at that. Look at that. 200, okay? Because you guys come all the time. You probably get phone calls from agents here that know you, asking you questions about what's happening, right? I think, like Judy, you got a call from Nikki. She can't make it here because she has another job. That's cool, okay? But if you tell them just to go to the YouTube channel and on a weekend instead of Netflix, hop on here for 20 minutes, you'll learn some stuff. So we have over 200 subscribers. Very nice, very nice. Don't forget all these NAR websites, particularly Facts.Realtor. Wendy's mastermind group is the first Tuesday of every month. The topic varies, so you can grab Wendy and she'll tell you what they're going to talk about. Best of Las Vegas. Let's vote, vote, vote. You can vote 100 million times. Very, very unique system we have here in Vegas for the best of Las Vegas. You can vote for us 1,000 times if you want. Come on in. Come in. Everybody say hello to Lydia. Lydia, say hello to everybody. Hey, Lydia, everybody. There you go. Yeah. Good job, Lydia. Good job. Okay. All right, before we get to Heather, Laura Moran, how many numbers are on the list? Like how many? Okay. What's the bottom number?
20.
All right, turn it back over. Now, turn it over. Turn it over. Okay, since you saw it, Maria, pick a number from 1 to 20. Atta girl, you're the one. But before you do that, check this out, gang. From ROC Title. Usually this is a really nice notebook. A really nice thingy, mouse pad. Got some coasters. Okay. Not just a cup, a candle. Okay. This little brand new agent welcome pack that Tim made up a while back. Really great stuff in here. But wait, there's more. We got guides for you. We got a Realty One Group, ROC Title keychain, little music.
With a bottle opener.
With a bottle opener. Sing songs too. We have a pin and a pen. So way to go, guys. You guys stepped it up this week. Very, very nice. So who is the winner of all of this stuff, Maria? What number? 13. All right, Laura. Nobody.
Park.
Who? Leah. Oh! Look at this. See? There you go. Good job. All right, gang. We can't do this without a bunch of help from our vendors, and our best vendor is the four of them sitting over here. They have better things to do than come to our meetings, particularly Brad and Laura. Brad and Laura are two of our best escrow officers, so those of you that are new, they usually hang out after the meeting outside with their laptop. So if you have questions about escrow, about title, pick their brains. They're going to hang out for a couple hours. They're very approachable. Ask them anything you like. And then, of course, we have Heather and Tim. So without any further ado, Heather Mirich, come on down, baby. Come on out. And everybody give her a round of applause. Woo-hoo.
I'm going to bring Tim up here in a few minutes. Many of you guys know, so I'm Heather Marich, and I'm the sales executive for ROC Title. I handle really your marketing and what you need to do, get your property ready, farms, etc. for both the Summerlin office and the Northwest office. Tim Sams is our trainer, so he knows he's going to come up in a moment here and talk about Canva and how to use that better for your business. A couple things I just wanted to touch on.
Make sure we introduce her again.
If you guys have a potential listing coming up, we can do something called, we can do a couple things. We can get a property profile for you, which is very nice, it's very detailed. We can do a know before you list, which is more information on the property. It'll tell you what liens are on the property, so you're not going in there blind. We will always send a PDF to you guys. But if you want a nice binded copy, we can do that, but we need notice because it does come from our office down on 215 in Russell, and we have to send a runner over here to you guys. So we don't, unless you mention that you want a hard copy, we're not going to automatically do that because some people need that and some people don't. So mention that and give us ideally 2 days notice. I mean, you can do it on one day as a rush, but we can't always do it if you ask for it 3 in the afternoon. We can't always have it at 10 in the morning. So it does take a little bit of time, but we can do those for you. And then I've met with a lot of you guys. I'm happy to meet with more of you if you want to talk more about what to do for farms and get that stuff set up. We have a lot of classes because we can't sit down with every one of you individually about the same stuff. So look at our calendar. We have tons of stuff. So I'm going to bring Tim up. He's trying to get away, but
Good try.
are you ready? Or
You want to do this now?
I think so. Yeah.
I was actually coming back, so we have more music, longer music for me
Okay.
to walk in.
Get it? ROC Title. We will rock you. Come on, go with me here, yeah? Only for you, Tim. Only for you, big guy. There you go.
I was going to clap along, but I have no rhythm. And I would mess that up.
How about we just play the video for the rest of the meeting and leave? And we'll do that. Yeah, that's all. And we leave, you know? Yeah. I messed up your canvas. I don't know where your canvas is. You'll find it, right? Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Brad, Laura, Heather. Thank you for all that you do. So if you're not sending business our way, you find value and what we provide to the students that are writing this in on your escrow, excuse me, say that one time. Laura or Brett, not me, way above my pay grade. I can't do escrow. Heather, maybe. So I have a thought. Actually, it's 2 o'clock this morning. Grade school. I'm going to take you back, way back. It's English class. Right? Mr. Fever was his name, my teacher. And he loved to get all the students up in a big circle. And we had to read in front of the class. Hated it. I hated it. Palms would start to sweat. And then I'd start to look, and I look at the clock, after like 20 minutes left in the class. I'm like, it seems like they're going to go sequential, one after another. And I'm reading for about like a minute. All this is going through my head. I'm supposed to be really listening. And then, like, I'm panicking, and I'm trying to do the math in my head, like, okay, maybe by the time they get to me, I won't have to speak. And then the teacher jumps sequence and calls on me. I have no idea where I'm at, supposed to be reading anyway. Long story short, it's easy to be comfortable in everything that we do. You're comfortable here, you're comfortable at home. I challenge you to pick 1 to 2 things that scare the crap out of you. Pardon my French.
Now say the real word. Come on. Come on. Say you're amongst friends, All right, I know. All right. That's okay.
No, I said it, Tim. Do you have a pen and paper? Write down 1 to 2 things that scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
You know what out of you. I want you to be uncomfortable. You're the biggest barrier in your inability to be the best you. So I joined Toastmasters, and there I said so.
Wow, that's big.
And what Toastmasters taught me was the filler words. So, But what happens is when you say that when you're speaking, it stops you. And then you're like, what do I say? I said, Thank God. They're counseling. Anyway, who's willing to share one of their things that scares them to death?
Everybody's very uncomfortable, Tim. Okay?
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Tell us yours.
Who wants to come up and role play with me? Nobody?
Nope.
Wow.
But David will do it.
Damon would come up.
Come on, DC, get up there, baby. Come on. Come on, there we go.
I was just saying that to prove a point. No hands went up. I actually thought your hand would go up.
Well, I was gonna, because I don't have a problem being in front of you.
I know you don't.
But I was like,
And you're always in front.
I always talk too much.
I can read the room. Like my daughter says, read the room, Tim.
Yeah.
So that said, I joined Toastmasters. Say that one time. So if your 1 or 2 things is content creation, video. Who's doing video? Who despises video? Who's nervous? I hate being in front of the camera. I really do. Public speaking could be one. How about social media? By the way, social media, 11 o'clock. If you don't have anywhere to go, you don't have to Uber here because you're already here. 11 o'clock, I'm doing a social media presentation from 11 to 12. So we're talking about some fun stuff there.
And that's a live class, correct, Tim?
That is
Or no?
my live.
Is it here physically or is it on Zoom?
Here physically.
Yeah,
And
okay.
not recorded.
Nice.
All right,
Be there, be square.
that's right.
Okay.
Let's talk about this page, onerockstars.com. Who's familiar with it? Who is not?
Okay.
That's okay.
Give it
Know it, because there's so much information here. This is a labor of love. So once you go out to onerockstars.com, you need to create an account. There's no cost. It's easy. Once you're in, you have access to a plethora of learning resources. that being said, we have social media posts. Okay. And these are pretty cool, because a lot of times when you think about social media, like, what am I gonna think about? What do I wanna convey? What do I wanna say? What's my branding look like? And that is a lot to do sometimes, because really the core functionality should be getting listings, selling houses, trying to figure out the new darn forms, right? And then I applaud all of you for being here today, because you said you're here to learn.
Definitely.
I love that, because we all should be learning every day. So once you're in, and I said so, that's one. I think it's actually two. So check this out. We put these together every month, and this is social media content for you. Remember to make a copy. Pretty easy to do. Who's using Canva? Who's heard of Canva? I think hands going up. Love Canva?
Yeah.
Okay. I love Canva. I'm a Photoshop guy from days gone by, but Canva's great. Super easy to use. So let's look at some of these templates. Once you click on that, it's actually going to open up your Canva account. And these are social media posts for the month of September. 106 of them. So now you don't have to like, what am I going to think about? What am I going to post? What should I research? It's done. Who's using these? One person.
One.
Okay. Why are others not using them? And you can be frank. Thick
Forget.
skin.
I forget.
Okay.
That's.
Yeah. Time constraints. Sure.
There's so much other.
Too much
Judy,
technology.
don't be shy now.
I'm really shy. I actually try to do a lot of video and not really.
Yep.
You could take those and put information in it, but people don't really read, so they'll listen to you. Like, how many people are actually listening to audiobooks now and reading? So if they see you and get to know you, I think I'm doing video.
Love it.
and not-
And as you should. But I hate video. I hate doing video. Hypothetically
So
speaking.
you want your consumers to read what you put out.
It's a start, right? It's a foundation. Any other reasons why you're not using them? Didn't know they exist.
I didn't know they were there.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, I get it. There's also the personal branding aspect of it. You belong to an amazing company, Realty One Group. But what about your brand? You? Doesn't matter.
from the agency show up?
Always be closing, always be branding, always be setting escrows.
My boyfriend was taking a listing
All right,
today.
so let's
And I
look
said
at
that's
these a
what we
little
talked
bit.
about, is you wanna switch before.
All right,
we do this.
hello September, it's easy, right? Like Judy said, video's great, and I strongly
I saw that. I
encourage
pulled
you
it
to
up.
start using video. And you gotta get on a train if you're not on the social media train. Because it's gonna pass you by. There's, you know, when we talk about artificial intelligence, now it's like everywhere. So you gotta get on board. If that's your uncomfortable topic, get it straight on. Reach out to Heather for resource. We'll help you. We've got all these resources for you. All right, so ideas for captions and hashtags. This is new. And it says, strongly encourage you to
That's
use
what I
as a
send
guide
all
and
of
make
them.
this your own, so it
And then this
sounds
is her
like you
response.
specific to your area. Here's a caption with some emojis. Apologize, it's a little hard to read. Maybe I just make that big. Anyway, it's got the emojis in there and the captions. Throw it into Chat GPT if you're working in Chat GPT. Say rewrite this with emojis. And now it's kind of your version of this. And again, this is great content for starters. Mix it up. Video, post, marketing, farming, postcards. Calling. Who loves calling? That's what I thought. One,
I like calling.
two. That's what I thought. 99% of people that I talk to don't like cold calling or picking up the phone in general.
Literally, nobody ever answers the phone anymore, but
Mhm.
I don't mind going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's when you get creative with the voicemails.
yeah.
All right. So Labor Day,
Tim, why don't you,
combine
can you
process.
show where, because Heather showed me yesterday where you changed the name.
Yes, absolutely. Good idea. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, I've got 106 posts almost ready to go, but it's not my contact information. All right, so this is how we solve that.
Tim, not to interrupt, maybe, I think there's a class in YouTube with Rock Title on this, correct?
Yes,
I'm assuming.
There's actually a video if you go
Right,
back.
so maybe you show them how to get that or the link or,
Yeah, look at
yeah.
this right here. So once you get into onerockstars.com, Canva video walkthrough. Plenty of late night reading if you have problems falling asleep. Or not. Maybe it suggests you up. Hopefully it does. All right, so back to Canva.
Hey,
This
Tim,
one.
can you go back just real quick to the one, the green?
Goodness, Wendy. Of course.
Right there, she was trying to take a picture, so I just wanted her to grab it.
Got it?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's just not social media posts, mind you, we have like a newsletter from Nevada already done. So if you're thinking about, I wanna send out a newsletter, it's here.
So Tim, if you took the CRM class, the One Suite class with Justin,
Yeah.
he could show you how to upload the monthly report to your 100 people in your CRM, and every month it goes out automatically. You do nothing once you set it up. That's the idea.
Don't get me started on CRMs,
Easy, man, easy. That's another 3-hour class, okay?
because it can become your assistant. Right? All right, so here, back to here. I'm not Justin. So I like shortcuts on the keyboard, but Control-C will copy that, or you can right-click and copy it. And then Control-F, which is fine. And I want to find all instances of Justin Taylor. And I found 3 of 69 so far. Look at this, replace with sounds, replace all. Boom. Now, every version of where Justin was, my name is there, or your name. Same thing goes here for your phone number. Just go in here and copy this.
So that's branding the agent to all those slides, correct?
Yes, as you should.
Mm-hmm.
So if we did that once, when there was a class here with Barbara, it's gonna, if I go back onto Canva, it's gonna already be there.
Incorrect, if I follow what you're saying. Because in the month of October, or now September, it's all new.
It didn't say.
New posts, so. But then again, how long did that take? Right? I think the most time-consuming part of it would be changing out this good-looking guy to your amazing profile picture. Wait, your amazing current profile picture. Like, I think I do it for new pictures because, quite honestly, everybody says I look like Brad, and Brad's handsome. But I shaved my beard because they're getting us confused. I'm like, I don't do escrow. I don't do escrows. I do marketing. Anyway, that said, so yeah, very easy. You could, you just upload your picture here. And you might see some pictures in here of other people because I probably have done something for somebody somewhere along the way. Gosh, I hope nothing bad shows up in here. You want to use these people? So you could actually just drag that over there and drop it in there. Okay? And as you get more comfortable, because now that you've gone through the video, you feel comfortable a little bit in Canva, I might even change this up a little bit. Because also what happens is that if you all do this, now we kind of got a cookie cutter effect going on, right? Not a bad thing, good place to start. Not all of you are going to choose this one. But, just something to keep in mind. Again, always be branding you and build your brand. So yeah, easily just grabbing this, making it a little bit bigger. Position it a little bit, maybe you want to change the font. Definitely change all your contact information in there. And then again, run these through ChatGPT, or just maybe some of you are just creative and can just write, I cannot.
And I'll point out too, these
Yes, sir.
templates were made in Arizona where you're not required to put your license number on there. So you have to make sure to add your license number on each one, which right next to where it says Realtor, you can just hit replace with Realtor and your license number. So it carries through.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So clicking on Realtor, I can just hit the plus sign. I've duplicated that. So I went through there, so I'm trying to get that just a little bit bigger, so, whoa, that's really big. That may be too big. So, yeah, right here.
Probably wanna do the replace all one, the way you did.
Yeah,
replace all.
you could actually
Couldn't you just,
type that in.
couldn't you just do Realtor and do Control F and replace Realtor with Realtor/license number?
You can do that, yeah.
There's so many things you can do.
But
That's
great.
what I was doing, yeah.
Yeah,
And then for the photo, you have to do it on each one, correct? There's not a.
you do.
short-
There's not a, unfortunately,
I
there
copy
isn't.
and paste on all of them.
Yeah.
I branded mine.
Yep.
So how are we doing on time, Tim? Doing that?
You know, a few more minutes or so. You're good.
That's all I got.
Okay.
No, I don't.
We can pull you off the stage in a heartbeat, big boy. Come on
This
now.
is true.
You
It's
know.
happened.
Yeah.
Like, often you'd invite me up to speak, and then like, yeah, 10 minutes, and then he's like.
What are you covering? What are you covering?
He's like,
What are you covering at 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock,
Let's promote that maybe.
social media blues. We're all faced with time constraints. So I'm going to show you 4 processes.
Not 3,
No,
4.
4.
4.
4. But people learning 3 stuff.
I don't know.
So that's it. But 4 processes that you can implement today to help elevate your social media game. Okay? No role playing, just a little bit of presentation, right after this class. So again, if you don't have anywhere to go, would love to hang out with you. I appreciate you, Tim, Wendy. I appreciate each and every one of you. My team, our team.
The team.
We're great together. Thank you for showing up.
Tim Sims, everybody. Good job. Yeah, get me back to where I got to go. Hey, a couple of things before I forget. In case you guys don't know, after a long search, we finally have another office admin to help out Suzanne. So if you guys don't know who she is, that's Vianney. So we're great to have her. She's videotaping everything, all that kind of good stuff. All right, gang, you know her, you love her. She pays us. She cuts the checks. Come on down, Maria. What do we got today?
Okay.
You want to go there?
Yeah.
Just get to it, huh? Okay.
That one. I was very grumpy yesterday, so I'm going to apologize to everyone. Because I got asked this question probably 33 times. So the CPA in transaction does not work. It doesn't work at all. So you have to go into Skyflow.
That's
into
good.
working documents and get it there, okay? So make sure you do that. The other thing is, because of all the changes with the LVR documents, Transaction Desk is concentrating on those documents and not all of our documents. That's why the CDA doesn't work. The second thing is the rental BDRA, that is not in Transaction Desk. So you have to go into Skyflow and your working documents and get it from there. So if anybody's working with, tenants or whatever, make sure you go in there and pick it up, okay? BBRAs, if you're not signing a BBRA, Tim's not signing a BBRA. And we're getting a whole bunch of those where agents are sending them to me saying, can you please get Tim's signature? But your signature's not on there. So So without your signature being there, we can't send it off to the broker. So make sure that page 2 of the BVRA on the bottom, you have it completed and that you've signed it before Tim will sign it. And I think that's it.
And as far as this not being in transaction desk, that's a transaction desk problem.
That is a transaction
Right.
desk problem. We
Okay.
sent it to them, we want it to be fillable, they know that it needs to be fillable, but again, without, all of the documents with LVR being, 100% quite yet, they're concentrating on that and not concentrating on our stuff. So it's not our issue, it's a transaction desk issue, so that's why you have to go into SkySlope. The one in SkySlope worked perfectly fine. Oh, and the new one, there's a new CDA in SkySlope. We talked about this like probably 6 months ago, and on the side it says Zelle and check. If you don't mark one of those, it's gonna be automatic check. Okay, so if you want it to be Zelle, make sure you mark it Zelle, so that we can do it, otherwise it's just gonna come in as a check. Okay? Any questions? No?
Maria, why don't
Oh,
we just
there has to be one, right?
What?
Go ahead, Gary.
Why don't they just remove the CDA from not in SkySlope, so we don't get confused? They never removed the old one, like the buyer disclosure, the 4-page is still in there, that's why we keep.
No, the 4-page will always still be there because that's an LVR document. It's not a Realty One document. That's why when you go into transaction desk, you see residential forms and you say Realty One forms. If you go into Realty One, it's perfect in there. That's not a problem. Cause that's at 6 pages in there. But LVR, we can't take that out. That's an LVR form. The 4-page is an LVR form. If you have it in your templates wrong, I can't help you there.
And just so you know, maybe today, tomorrow, early next week, the rental compensation and showing form, the rental BBRA, will be in transaction desk. Right now it's in SkySlope, but we think we can push them to get it in there. Where the other one, the CDA, is they have to do all this PDF fillable hocus pocus stuff. Where the other form they can just
More
add.
techie-ish.
Yeah, more techie stuff. Yeah. So, all right, gang. Maria, everybody. Bye. All right, gang. All right, grab a couple of chairs. Let's
Question about the rental BVRA.
please.
Okay, so if I don't do a lot of rentals, sometimes here and there at the fair.
Disclaimer.
But how are we, on our purchase agreement, was saying we paid 3%. How are we asking the seller, we want at least $500 or whatever? How are we asking, just in an email?
If you represent the tenant, you use the rental referral agreement.
That's before we show it.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
In the perfect world, I think, moving forward, renters are going to pay the fee. The landlords are going to say, I'm not going to pay it anymore. That's what's going to happen, I think. That's what property managers are going to do to save their landlords money. Because they know you guys are going to put something, on a BBRA or sell a BBRA to get $200-300. So I would prep my renters moving forward that there's unlike the buyer BBRA, where we're going to say, Mr. Buyer, there's a relatively strong chance the seller's going to participate and pay my fee. Mr. Tenant, there's a good chance the landlord isn't going to pay my fee. I would have that conversation with them, okay? Unless you called the other agent, got the scoop on what it is.
But Tim, where would you write that in?
Yeah, it's there's no we're not making an offer, on the there's no application or.
Write it in on the application somewhere?
If there's a spot, sure. If there's a spot, tell your tenant to put it in there. Yeah, or an email between you and the other side would be fine too. But
So when your clients find a property that they want to rent, you're going to give them the website to go to fill out the application, but go ahead and send an email to that listing agent. Hi, my clients, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, are submitting an offer for 123 Main Street. I just want to let you know, this is the compensation that I'm asking your landlord to pay, blah, 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 blah. Here's my W-9. Just give them everything so it connects you to that client anyways. That's beforehand. And then when they get the application, they're able to connect it. Once they get the application, or you know that your clients have sent it, then call them up and say, hey, I just want to make sure that you got my tenant's application. What difference
Yeah, that's,
What do you mean?
oh, we're telling them, we're not asking? Is
Well, you're
that the
asking, this
difference?
is, well, I mean, that's the thing, is you guys are gonna have to structure your own emails. I don't personally work with rentals, I haven't in
No,
like 20
we're-
years, but I'm trying to figure out what email you guys are gonna send, because just to follow up, if you don't ask them for anything, or put it in writing, hey, I'm asking your landlord for this, or your seller for this, whatever it is, you're gonna put that in there. Is that what you're asking? I don't know what you're asking.
No, we're a little confused because we don't wanna
Right.
violate,
Mhm.
you know, the solicitation of what is commission or compensation.
But they don't,
excuse me.
it's not listed anywhere, so you're asking them for it.
And that's okay.
Of course.
But you're more telling them, your verbiage is more, this is what.
Then change
I-
my verbiage.
Yeah,
They
but
don't-
that's
And like,
okay.
I know, yeah, I'm just
We
saying,
had this discussion in yesterday's class, and I believe there was still confusion by many of us over what we are allowed to ask.
About rentals or purchases?
Both.
Okay, we'll talk about the purchase stuff in a minute. Yeah, okay.
Sorry about that.
But you
No,
have
you're
to-
good, you're good, Gab.
You do have to tell them what you're expecting out of there, and they can come back and
Absolutely.
counter you and say, hey, my seller's only going to be compensating this, so then, but you've already done a rental, agreement with your tenant, your client, so you're just letting the landlord know, this is what I'm asking for, whenever they don't compensate, then you go back to your client and say, hey,
Okay.
they're only giving, but you need something, cause there's nothing posted what that rental's gonna
Agreed.
pay. So you just need something in writing, going back and forth, this is what I'm asking for, then they'll say, hey, we're gonna accept them, but we're only paying this. You have to have that communication now.
No, I think that's an excellent technique.
Maybe just, but again, we got, not we, but there's some agents that got used to over the years not communicating. They just send over an offer and they don't even let you know that it's sitting there.
Yes.
So we have to get back to calling them, just letting know, following up, did you get my offer, did we really have to go above and beyond and go back to the old way of doing it, is communicating through both sides to get our point across, because now there's such an open-ended of, are we getting paid, who's paying us, what are we getting paid? So getting in writing is all I can say.
And I could be wrong, but I think to get the rental fee is gonna be 100 times easier than getting the fee from the listing agent, because the property management company, you know, Suzanne at the front desk is gonna answer the phone, and she'll probably tell you what the co-op is. You're not gonna get the listing agent for the rental property, for a rental on the phone, never in a million years. So they probably instructed their front desk people to give out that number if they're licensed. So that, I would hope that would happen. And before you get that, Joe, I'm gonna ask Brandon, and I know he's gonna hate this, but Brandon's our top rental guy. I think he's done like 75 of them already. It's unbelievable. Holy Jesus. How are you knowing what the co-op is, or are you knowing?
I just called them and asked if they have any applications pending, and if they say no, I just say, what's the co-op?
So I'm your renter. I fill out 300 on the seller, on the rental BBRA. I go,
So I feel that after I find out what I'm getting paid.
aha, after.
Yeah, so like they told me, I call the property managers, I know which properties I'm gonna see, and then I fill the form out with the renters.
Okay, but just be,
Tim, like, if you do them often enough as him, you get to know all these property managers.
of course, yeah.
And then also, he's heavily on TikTok, like, he promotes.
Pushing it.
He's all over social media, very present, daily.
But we just gotta be careful that we're not showing the house before they,
no,
just saying, you know, all right. If you know where I'm going with this, okay.
But he promotes it, he does rentals.
Yeah, I know, I'm just kidding, yeah. Joe?
At the LDR class that we took at the Durango Casino, the membership meeting,
Now I
it was
know
a
where
CE,
it's in my
3-hour
brain.
CE on this,
Mhm.
and they said the rentals, they don't have a problem with us calling.
Yeah.
And eventually the property management companies are gonna create links where you can click onto it, to find out what the co-op is. So they don't have a problem with that, because that was not really a part of the
Lawsuit,
part of it.
right.
The lawsuit issue was us calling the listing agent to try to find out what the co-op is and say, oh, what are you paying? And they're like, that's the whole point of the lawsuit. They didn't want us to know, so they pulled it out of the MLS. So now you just submit it in your offer as concessions, not as commission, and that's how you negotiate the deal back and forth. But what he's doing is fine. They didn't have a problem with that.
Correct.
But us calling ahead, they did have a problem with us on the buyer's broker part of it. They were saying they just put it in the offer
Mhm.
and then submit
So
it.
that's
Yeah.
basically saying they're doing something. If
Yeah.
they're saying, put it in the offer.
Correct,
say
correct,
we're not
correct.
doing it.
But hold on, that's gonna be, we have these are some of the questions you guys have asked me and Wendy. We're gonna get to, there's about 8 or 9 of them, we're gonna get to them in a minute.
Okay.
But let me just run through some stuff real quick. So, things you guys need to know. You hear this thing that we're a fiduciary. If you don't know what that means, please read up on it, okay? These are the most popular sales professions, according to CNN, or I don't know where I found it. We are not on there, right? But even though we call ourselves salespeople, right? Okay. If you go into a retail store and the man or woman that helps you messes things up, you're probably not going to sue her. You could, but nothing's really going to happen, okay? But these people are also kind of salespeople, and all of these are licensed. So these are the ones that get sued, including us, okay? So that's why we bring up this fiduciary thing all the time, that you can't give any indication that you're not showing a house because the commission you're going to make is not what you want. If a buyer gets an inkling, you feel that way, and they make a complaint, you're going to get fined $1,000. No defense. No, I didn't mean it that way. He misunderstood me, Tim. No, you're going to get fined $1,000. So all of these are licensed. So that's where that fiduciary thing comes in. A complaint against you comes to me. It goes to the division. It goes to the commissioners, and you could lose your license. So this fiduciary thing that we talk about all the time is really, really, really important.
That's what we have with the seller when you call up an agent as a buyer's agent, say, Mr. Seller's agent, how much are you paying,
Right.
or are you paying, what are you paying? Well, he can't really disclose any of that information because of the offer.
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yes, that's one of our questions. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. These are people that if you sue them, they could lose their business. You know, a plumber, you sue a plumber, it's a bad one, he's out of business. Electrician, handyman, they're gone. They lose their contractor's license. These guys, they go to another retail store. They go from Buick to Toyota. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. Some other stuff, these are some things to benefit the selling side. I'm not going to go through it, read it, it's in the handout. Things that the listing agent should do. Most important thing is attend ongoing training. This crap's going to change all the time, guys. So you got to come to classes. Things that you should do on the buying side, a lot of stuff. And of course, must attend ongoing training. Come to these classes. Go to an LVR class. If ROC Title is doing a class, go to one of their classes. The more classes you go to, the better, okay? And this comes up. Agents have asked me, so you're the listing agent, Amelia. I'll pick on you. And I'm the buyer. And I call you off the Zillow ad. And I want to go see it. And but I don't want to use an agent. I'm not using an agent, okay? And you show me the house, and then you want me to sign a BBRA, and I say no, I don't need an agent. I'm just going to represent myself. Do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Every day, every day.
Good luck in getting the property manager to.
No, this I'm a buyer. I don't want to sign anything, but I want her to show me the house. And if she shows it to me, which she can't because she didn't sign a BBRA, right? Oh yeah, it's my listing. I'm sorry. You can. You can show me, right? Right now I want to make an offer, but I don't want you to represent me. I'm sharp. I'm an investor. I go to legal forms, and I'm going to send you the offer. What do you think?
Legal forms?
Or you go to legalforms.com and find a purchase contract.
Oh, but
Nevada.
I really only want GLDAR.
That's where I'm going with this. You guys are smarter than me. So you guys are steps ahead of me. Yeah. Right. Right. When I'm talking to that buyer, I would say, why don't you want to have an agent? Why wouldn't a buyer want an agent to represent them? Why would they think they don't want one? Right. All of a sudden, holy shit, I got to pay this money. Oh, I never had to pay it before, so I can figure this out. I can go to Legal Forms or LegalZoom or come up with it. I would just mention to them that if you are not licensed, you may have committed a crime, Mr. Client. And that might be enough to scare them a little bit for either you double end it or say, you know what, Amelia, I understand that you don't want to be represented, but let's do this. I can't take an offer from you on a non-association form. Let me refer you to one of my agents, Wendy, or whoever you want, in my office. You've seen the house already, okay? And I promise, if you make a competitive offer, I'm sure as far as compensation goes, we'll be able to work this out so it's a win-win. If you come up with verbiage like that in your own words, what's the buyer going to say? No? Now, if the buyer does say no, I would hang up on him. Or you don't want to work with him. Move on. The aggravation is just beginning if he won't do that or she won't do that. So just let them know that it could be a crime if they do some crazy stuff here. You know all about these consumer guides. If you don't, grab them out front. The VA one just came out, so that's kind of a neat one. So all right, and also thank you, Judy. We didn't put this up in time, but there should be a handout. Judy got this for us somewhere. It's really kind of cool. It's kind of generic, what you can and can't do. Okay, so whenever you guys find this stuff, send it to me. Judy's great, Linda's great, Michael's great. You know, Tim and Damon, we're all on different websites. We find stuff. Let's share this stuff that we all can benefit from. And we all know a reminder about the listing verbiage, right? Okay, we all know about this. And one more thing, before I forget. If you type up a BBRA and you, for some reason, are compelled to put in additional terms. Don't know why you would, but you can. But if you send it to me, before I sign it, I'm going to call you and ask you, what does this mean? Just to make sure it's legit. And if I don't get it, I might have to send it to Alex, our attorney, to make sure it's okay. So just be careful. Like, well, you know, I went to the thing at LVR, and the guy from, you know, ABC said, you know, he puts this in for all his agents. That's great. You know, he's a small company with 8 agents. We got 1,600. You know, it's not the same. It really isn't the same when it comes to that stuff. So just be careful, okay? Use a little common sense. All right, gang, here we got some questions, Wen. Okay, this is what we're getting from you guys. Let's see here. All right, what does it say, Wen? I can't see it.
What if the listing agent wants me to send them the BBRA?
Too bad, so sad.
Hey, Amelia, I got a buyer. I'm gonna go see the house today. And then you say, okay, Tim, send me over your BVRA.
Why would you need to see the BBR?
You know, I just want to know what, you know, what your buyer's paying.
And why do you need to know what the buyer's?
Well, I just want to know.
But it's
It's not
not.
your business, it's
Yes.
between you and your buyer.
Okay, okay. I just thought I'd ask. That's the point. Some of them might ask, but the answer is no, in a nice way. Don't get confrontational. Don't get like, oh my God, you're an idiot. Why are you asking for this? No, I'm not going to send it to you, jerky agent. I don't think many will ask, but you'd be surprised. Some might ask you for it. Well, I don't know. Is that going to be part of closing, Laura? I don't see that. Yeah, it's not an enthusiastic yay. You know. I don't know.
I've heard we do need it.
Yeah.
We want to see what the buyer has agreed to pay. And then, yeah, and if it's a cash deal, then there's no lender and we don't really know. Obviously, if there's a lender involved, the lender would know if they're collecting an extra point from, or percent from the buyer or not.
And this might not be an escrow standard thing. It could change from Dicor to ROC to Chicago to Fidelity. We don't know.
It can keep changing just like everything.
Right, right. So if someone wants you to send something signed by your client to the other side, say I'll get right back to you and check with me or Wendy or Damon or whomever. You don't want to just send stuff out.
Lender or no lender, you want to send that buyer broker agreement to title because you guys need to make sure that money's on the settlement statement. Because the buyer's paying some of it, folks, and they're going to need to leverage that to say, this is what the buyer's paying, okay? That's going to be pretty important.
Yeah, but we'll learn as the days go by here, I guess, right? All right, gang, here's another one what we're getting. What if the seller doesn't want to offer, so the seller doesn't want to offer to pay anything towards the buyer's commission?
The buyer's compensation.
Correct.
Buyer agent compensation.
There you go. Buyer's agent fee. So
Options.
what do you do if you're the buyer, if you're the buyer's agent?
Lower your.
Well, we already had this in the butt here, lender already get a pre-approval and have the buyer kind of agree to have his loan already, so we don't care.
So I think an example might be you send over the RPA, you put 3% on page 2, they counter back, section 2 on page 2, give me some words, Damon. Seller will not pay, or whatever. In other words, the seller's not paying GOTS, 0, right. Seller not paying buyer broker compensation. Hopefully you've had a conversation with your buyer about this, right?
They would need to pre-qualify first of all with our lender, and then at that point, the lender's gonna try to put that in as part of the fees, because we're part of the fees now, is the way it was explained to us yesterday. So we are considered, they used to do 2.5% or 2 to 2.5% for closing costs, but now they're doing 5 to 6% because of us.
Correct.
Because we're not sure if we're gonna get paid or not. So
Right.
we go through the negotiation process, find out we're not getting paid, and hopefully they've already pre-qualified with our lender. If they
Right.
didn't pre-qual, then we're out there floundering, doing stupid stuff we shouldn't be doing.
This is where I think more important than ever, your relationship with your loan person is big.
They said that they have some loans and they doing us for closing costs.
But a lot of buyers will come in with a pre-approval already from USAA, from credit union. You got to get Damon at the credit union LO on the phone and have that conversation with him about these fees, because if it gets too far into it, the deal is going to blow up. Okay, but I don't see how what percentage of sellers will pay 0? You think?
Not that many.
Not that many.
Yeah, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
Yeah.
out to the listing agents,
Yeah.
you guys, the ones that, you guys have been great, like anyone I've called the last few weeks, they all offer, they just tell me yes, they offer, you're like, they're transparent.
Should we be calling the listing agent and asking for the co-op?
Yeah.
But it says it on this form.
But when I say, like, I'll shout back and they'll tell me.
They'll
They
tell you,
delay-
right, I always
Yeah, they'll
call.
tell me, they just
Yeah.
say, hey, by the way,
Listen,
yes.
let's keep it simple. You have a buyer, they want to go see the house. Are you calling the listing agent?
Yeah, always.
Yes, yes. Somewhere out there it said you're not allowed to call a listing agent anymore. 3 agents have said that to me. Tim, I thought we couldn't call a listing agent. Who told you that? They got that somewhere.
You have to be careful that if you're calling the listing agent, you need to make sure that it's not driven by you, and it's driven by the buyer. Because there is something that people are going to get hit with, and it's called steering, right? And if you guys are calling and the buyer has not instructed you to do so and said, hey, I only want to see properties, or I want to know that the sellers, and you're just doing it for yourself to know if you're gonna get compensation, and if they say, no, we're not, or we're only offering this many, bananas, and you don't show the property to that buyer, you're gonna get stung. So,
Yeah.
you gotta make sure it's all client-driven at this point in time, okay? If the seller wants to dictate that they wanna offer a buyer broker fee, that's why we have those clauses, I submitted those to corporate, and they rewrote them, and you can put that in there, but you wanna make sure that it's seller-driven and buyer-driven, not you-driven.
And I think now more than ever, and I would venture to say 9 out of 10 of you don't do this. I didn't do it when I was an agent, is keep the old, if you've been down to LVR, they sell those folders. You guys know the folders. I love those folders. Love those folders. Unbelievable. And inside you could write down every time you had a conversation with someone. And really good agents would do that. Lousy agents like me didn't do it, I guess, But that's going to get you out of trouble for like what Damon said. That spoke to my buyer and blah 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 blah. So if it ever comes back to you, because steering is a big issue. That's a license revoke in a minute here, So I'm not saying go back to old school and write everything down, but somehow talk it into your phone, right? Your notes app, put it in there. Get Leah.
If you're on the listing side and you get that phone call, let's say you don't wanna just readily give up, because you wanna negotiate that, right? So would you say something like, yes, we are willing to cooperate with a co-op, make us an offer. So at least you're telling
That's it.
them
Stop right there. That's it, right? Janet, what are you going to say?
I am just gonna say.
Come on.
If my seller is, I've already had the conversation, and he is willing to do something, but I would never mention the amount,
Yes.
because you
Correct.
can't hold them to it.
Correct.
And if they send in a lowball offer, that seller's not gonna, honor the 2.5 or 3 or whatever it was.
Right.
But I just say, write it in the offer. Just
Yeah.
send in your offer, write it in, we'll see what happens, we'll
Yeah,
negotiate.
and be positive about it. Hey, Leah, on page 2, put in what your buyer wants. I'll do my best to sell it to my seller, okay? But the other terms of the contract are important too. The list price and, close of escrow. Huh?
I wouldn't say what you just said.
No?
You misrepresent your seller.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do my best to sell it to the seller, no, I'm not selling the seller.
Did I say that?
I'm gonna present it to my seller.
Present it. Okay, sorry. Yeah. We don't want to sell. Yeah, we sell the seller. Yeah. Submit to my seller, present to my seller. Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying the seller is agent friendly, but I don't,
Okay.
basically saying, and that basically indicates that they're willing to co-op something.
Correct. Okay.
You can always say, my seller's
You
motivated.
guys, there's brokers out there right now that are taking, on smaller brokerages, that are taking the stance that they're not going to say the seller's, paying a buyer broker fee. It's in the offer now, it's a
That's it.
negotiable item.
Yep.
And the only time I'd have the seller commit to a specific amount is on specific terms of
Yeah.
full list price offer, no closing costs, whatever else. If your seller, again, seller driven, if they're adamant. So another thing you don't wanna do is, don't stand in the way of your seller. They'll remove you from the equation if they say, listen, David, I've sold 3 homes, I know how this works. I want a buyer broker fee offered, and then I would just be clear, okay, is there an amount you wanna offer, and what are the terms that you wanna offer these on? Otherwise, I will let them know, disclose that you're offering a buyer broker fee, and they'll put it in the offer and submit over. So just remember, seller driven.
Correct.
And a lot of brokers are taking the stance of, we're not offering,
Nope.
we're not saying they're offering anything, submit your offer.
That's it. Yeah. And maybe you, even after you take that listing, you follow up with an email to the seller with a little synopsis of what it is. So you have an email. So it's just not a conversation. Oh, I didn't say that 3 months ago, Gabby. I know, you misunderstood me. So you have a nice email to follow it up with. Yeah, right, Fred?
I do something a little different. I do a complete folder. I break it down by sale, title company, all correspondence, and I put notes on the back. That way, my wife started me on that, because when you go to litigation, you gotta be prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred, how many times have you gone to litigation?
In how many years?
Yeah, 35.
And you won both times, right?
And
I didn't pay.
and it's funny. It's funny. One time.
What I do is I do a summary sheet with every presentation.
Exactly.
That way, because I deal with a lot of international clients. They said, you didn't tell me. They have it all in front of them. So, you know, we'll share whatever we have.
And there's a guy in town called Neil Schwartz. If you can ever take a Neil Schwartz CE class, take it. He's like Lee Barrett. He's been doing it since the break of dawn. And he used to be a commissioner. And one time I went down there just to observe, and we're chit-chatting, and I forgot what the topic was, but two people were coming up to the podium, and the defendant and the plaintiff, or whatever they're called. And whoever I was sitting next to said, that guy's going to win. He knew who was going to win. I said, how come? Well, Neil told me that usually whoever comes with the most amount of paper wins. It's a perceived emotion from the commissioners. Now, I'm not saying it's true on camera. Neil Schwartz didn't say that. Okay, but they might be profiling here. You come with all your stuff, and I come with me in my phone and my TikTok notes or whatever's in there. Who do you think right away they think has their stuff together? So I like Fred's idea. The more paper, the better. Yeah. All right. What do we got? Is there another one up there?
Just that one.
There you go. Good.
And I have 2 BBRAs.
Yes. One for new homes and one for resale.
There you go. Simple. We've talked about this, right? Pretty easy stuff, right? Okay.
Now, we addressed it in the class yesterday. What if you want to change it? So say you put X amount on your BBRA and then you're negotiating and then they want, the seller offers a lower one. And then you're okay with that, but your BBRA is different. So what do? We're gonna cross out that original one, not make a new BBRA. We're gonna cross out that number and change it and then have your clients initial it, and then that's what goes to title and the lender for the new updated pricing.
Initial and date it.
Sky Slope.
What's that?
And Sky Slope, we have them.
Their little thingy. Or we could create another form if you want. Would you like another form? No, let's just cross it off, okay, before we, correct. Yeah, okay. A higher number. Yeah. All right, number 4, when? What's number 4?
Are you listening? What do I say? The listing agent, when a buyer's agent asks me if the seller is paying a co-op or the buyer's compensation.
Okay, we covered that already. We got that one already. All right, what's number 5? There it is.
As a listing agent, if the seller's offering a co-op to the buyer's agent, should or can I promote that in a flyer or on the for sale sign or on social media?
Yes, but with the permission of the seller.
Yeah, of course. I've over the weekend I was driving around. I don't know who it was, but on the top he had a rider 2.5% co-op. Okay, but again, what Janet said is critical. You got to make the seller sign off on that.
Yeah, if you're gonna commit
Right.
to a number, actually put a number out there, you gotta make sure that you're selling.
Now, what if I'm the seller and you ask me that and I say, sure, you can put on your flyers. Would you just move on to the next topic?
No.
Why not? No, I'm going to pay 3 bananas, and I want you to promote that. I want you to get as many agents as you can to see the house. Put a plane with a thing outside. 3% for this house with arrows.
Yeah, but what if you get a low ball on?
Exactly, wouldn't you explain to them that you've got
Exactly.
committing to a specific number, it's very market dependent, the market's swinging,
Right. What I'm getting at is you're going to learn how to talk them out of that. I don't think that's a good idea, because you put on 2.5, but so it's 2.5, and I'm the buyer's agent, and my buyer was only going to pay 2. I have a BBA for 2, or maybe even before we wrote it up, he was only going to pay 2, but I'm going to put 2.5 on that one because you tipped your hand for the seller.
Exactly.
So that's what you don't want to do.
Yeah,
You're taking money.
Put a number, I would just say seller is willing to pay up to 2.5.
You could do that too, if you want.
On the offer.
Yep.
But I'm getting everyday emails now, 10 emails where they say 5%.
They're idiot realtors. They're idiots. They're not well trained. They're not doing the best for this seller. They're giving away their seller's money.
So there's the e-flyers that say that, but then maybe later on it'll say with a full price offer or whatever. But the point is, are we still allowed to do e-flyers
Yeah.
and promote?
Yeah.
If you want. Sure, yeah, exactly, okay.
Why don't we just put maybe the seller is willing to work with
Yes.
agents?
Or consider.
No, but what I'm saying, where we can advertise it, in a flyer, we can't,
Yep.
that's the.
You can.
Be on the MLS, guys.
That's it.
And then also like your for sale sign out front of the house. When you take pictures, you're not supposed to photograph your for sale sign anyway,
Right.
right? So after you take the pictures, you put your for sale sign up and maybe do a sign writer, seller cooperating with buyer's agents or,
That's
seller
a
co-
great idea.
something like that.
Seller quote, yeah, seller quote.
Yeah, because it's branding you, so you always want to keep your sign out and have the sign put up after you've taken a picture. So,
All right, we're good with that? We're good? All right, number 6, can I do an open house at a non-Realty One Group listing? I got a yes. I got a yes. I got a no. See, one is right and one is wrong. I got a no.
No, it's not covered by our insurance.
I missed it.
Number 6, right there.
can I do an open house at a non-Realty One Group?
Your buddy at Coldwell Banker has a $5 million listing, and he wants you to do an open house. Can you do it?
Well, maybe yes, but you'll have to get every buyer that comes in to sign a BBRA.
No, you're working on behalf of the seller still at that point. You're the agent.
But you're not the listing agent. You don't work for that company.
Yeah, but I'm not the listing agent on a Realty One.
But you work for Realty One. You work for the same broker as us.
Yeah, but it's still.
The answer is no. 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 It's liability. E&O insurance doesn't cover it. Okay, we used to before the lawsuit, but after the lawsuit, E&O said put a stop to it immediately. So do I like it? Not necessarily, but I could see where they're going with that.
But the other brokerages do that the same way, or is it just?
I don't know. I interviewed an agent yesterday from another company, and he's joining us. He couldn't believe our deductible was zero. At his company, his E&O insurance deductible was $10,000. He thought I was lying to him. I said, no, dude, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so it's going to be different, Steph, at different companies. So, but at Realty One, you can't do an open house at another brokerage's listing. You can do it for hours, even if it's not your listing. You can do, Janet's house. Yeah, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. We have 800 listings in MLS, gang. You should be able to find a house to do an open house on. I mean, come on, All right, what's number 7, Wen? You read the long ones.
Yeah, okay, when I meet a buyer and the buyer is unwilling or cannot afford to pay the buyer's compensation, can I only show them homes where the seller's paying towards the buyer's agent compensation?
No.
Yeah, you can if they agree to it.
Well,
If they tell you they only wanna see properties that pay whatever, 2 apples, then absolutely.
Yeah, but you have a decision not to take that contract initially. Why would you take a contract that you're not possibly gonna not get paid for? I'm not
But
doing 3 months.
it says the buyer has no money. They're going to sign your BBRA and hypothetically put a 0. Because, Patrick, I have no money, dude. Just so you know. I have no money.
But in this situation, I'll be the devil's advocate here. We don't know in advance which listings may or may not consider.
Mhm.
And remember, you just told us as a listing agent not to put out that information, let's see your offer. So you have a conversation with your buyer and you say, you know what, we're kind of in this very
Limbo.
no man or woman's land of, we don't know. My suggestion is, we go out, we look at homes, we write an offer, we ask for compensation. Now, whether.
Steph, stay. Let her finish, Steph. Steph, let her finish. Let her finish.
Of course they're gonna write 0 because they're not gonna commit to a number to you.
Right.
The owner. But how are we gonna know if we're not gonna commit up front to what, you can't have what we just discussed, and then it's a crapshoot, guys. This is where we might end up working for very little to nothing. To that I say, yeah, I don't work for 0. I've been in business 37 years. I don't work for 0, guys. I get it. But you tell me how to get around that. Do you want to send that buyer down the road, or do you want to take the chance?
But here's the thing.
That's how
Stay with us. Stay with us.
Yeah,
Oh, I understand, but I know what you're saying. That's where you have the conversation. Okay, I will work with you because we are allowed to change that. I will honor that. Is that a handshake? What is that? That's my only.
Very important. I've gotten 3 BBRAs, I think Maria may have seen them, where you guys put 0 on there. Now, if I sign that, you're working for free. You're not, even if there was a co-op, you're not getting anything. So you got to put something on there if you want to make something. Okay, Wen, what were you going to say?
What about that side conversation?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was gonna say, is you cannot put 0 in there. You have to explain to your client, this can be changed between you and myself and you. But I have to put in there what I'm going to ask the seller for. And then if we find a house we like, we make an offer, and they're lowering it or unwilling to pay that, we can change that at that time. But if they're unwilling to me, and I don't know if it's correct, but if they're unwilling to pay, I'm gonna have this conversation first with my client. If they're unwilling to pay it and you don't have the funds for it, we cannot move forward on that house. But I'm not gonna not show it to you. My thoughts are, I'm gonna show it to you, but I'm gonna explain how it was. Because back in the day, I'm sure some of you seasoned agents know, remember when they put the co-op in there, you'd have that conversation with them we had that co-op button. How many, do you remember that, with the co-op button, we were able to put in there what we would want for a co-op and only send the MLS properties to them that match that co-op, right? Yes. And then they took that out, and the reason why.
Yeah, let's not go there, Wynn, let's move on. Move on, Wynn, come on.
But here's the thing, and the reason for that, I've used a buyer broker agreement since day one. So I put my value on that buyer broker agreement, and I would have that conversation before we go out. I get X bananas, right? That's what I get. Are you willing to compensate if I show you homes below that? And if they say no, okay, I'm going to set the search at that. And that's how it would go. And then I had an investor, we went out for 4 months, we weren't finding anything, and I said, well, what I can do is lower that co-op to this percentage. Are you agreeing to pay that difference? He says yes. We corrected by a broker, I lowered that co-op, and we found something that week. But you have to educate them on what's going on. So
Let's
So-
take that to the end.
All right, so, okay, Gabby, you're the buyer, I'm the buyer's agent,
Okay.
and I present the BBRA to you, and you have no money.
I'm gonna buy that house one way or the other. I'm either gonna go to the seller's agent or find another. I mean, this would be horrible, and I doubt it's gonna come to this. Then you say, this is charity work, and they have friends, and someday I'll get a fantastic referral. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm hoping we won't get to that point. But if they love that house and you're not gonna get paid, there's nothing you can do with that.
on your BBRA, it
Yes.
states, because they're gonna have to sign that BBRA before you can take them out, right?
Correct.
On that BBRA, there it says, if I've showed you a home and you decide to cancel this one and move forward, you cannot purchase this home for X amount of days.
Correct.
So,
After the fact.
again, we've got that in there to secure
Well-
that. And we know, we don't wanna stop somebody from buying a home, but also, they are only able to afford a home because they worked and got paid. We're working, we should get paid too.
I agree
Right?
100%.
So that's where you have to explain that to them, in my thoughts.
But you can't get blood from it.
I know. So
It's
that's where.
it's an awful conversation.
That's when you have them pre-qualified with that, that adds the 6%, that's your three apples on top of it.
Tim, are you?
Yeah, Janet.
Are you signing?
I was just wondering, is there anything, when you have this conversation and your buyer truly just does not have the money to pay you, if the seller's not willing, and they tell you, they go, listen, if they're not gonna pay your commission, I only wanna see homes where they're gonna offer you something, can you put that in the BBRA to protect yourself? No.
No. I mean, Gabby,
Buyer instructs agent to only show homes.
no. My guess is, the buyers that truly have no money, but they truly want to buy a house. And I don't think there will be. Or they're going to claim they have no money. And then when the shit hits the fan, after you've made the offer, and you negotiate with the listing agent to get a point, you negotiate with Epic and John to get a half of a point, and then you go back to your buyer and say, look, it's a $600,000 house. To make this work, my fee, I've dropped it to it says 3% on the BBRA, but I'll take a 0.5% from you, Mr. Buyer. They're going to find that $1,500 in a heartbeat from mom or dad or a poker machine. You'd be surprised. They're going to find that money from somewhere. So I'm not saying they're lying when they say they have no money, but Linda says it all the time. Buyers are, and that's, I hate that word, and I hate that analogy. But a lot of times they don't tell us the truth, and you'd be surprised. Mom writes out a check, for a gift check for $3,000 or $8,000, and that's where Epic. And I'm not saying you have to use Epic, but they're willing to step up to the plate to do some financial finagling in a good way, to give us, a 0.5 point, a point and a half. And on a $600,000 home, if they can get you a point, that's $6,000. The deal's probably wrapped up. Then you're home free.
So you guys, yesterday we had a class in here, it was a 2-hour class, I held by Rick Camus from Epic.
It was
great.
fantastic.
So it's recorded and it's put on the YouTube
Watch
channel.
that
Please
show.
watch it. Because he shows you how they go through and qualify your client. Now, they might add it to closing costs, and you can ask the seller for closing costs, and if they pay the closing costs or your commission or whatnot, but if not, we know ahead of time that they can go up to this much in closing costs. So they will, if they don't pay the commission, they can tack it on as closing costs.
Or they can finance it.
Yeah, and so there's ways around it, but you've got to have a lender, a
I
partner
think we
with
should
a
have
lender
it
that knows what.
Yeah, he'll do it again. He did it yesterday here. He's gonna be doing it at all 4 offices. So when he does, I'll get the flyer out, go watch it at Mark's office or Jeff's. Yeah, I'll go again.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's amazing, but I am a little worried that the DOJ may come down on that a little bit.
Well, that's,
I don't know, I think, I agree with it, it is a closing cost now, guys.
We have, and as much as we don't like NAR, and we bitch about NAR, they're fighting to try to get all that financed into the loan, like a VA funding fee. You guys know what a VA funding fee is, right? You just tack that crap on top.
And does everyone know that the VA, if I work with a lot of VA buyers now, they have addressed the commission issue as a fee, so, that's.
Yeah, they can pay it, yeah, exactly.
Yesterday class will be, or you already on YouTube?
It's already on the YouTube channel. It's there. It's there. You'll find it. Joe?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
Joe.
say, so we have a buyer that signs the BBRA, they understand our commission is 3 bananas or whatever you guys call it, and then they have told us they can't afford to pay it, no matter what, so then the explanation is, okay, this is the only thing we could do is put it in the negotiations, and on houses that we get offers back, cause the seller's gonna counter. If they say they're offering nothing, then you have to make a decision to walk away from that house, because it's either you accept the offer, you decline the offer, or you counter the offer. So that buyer can counter the offer again and see if they come back with more,
Sure.
So that it's basically a game
Yeah.
to see if that house is gonna give up some money or not.
Mhm.
If not, we have to move on to the next house, that's the bottom line.
And again, what if
If they can't afford it, they're claiming.
they want it's $500,000 house and you offered 510?
Yeah.
It appraises, let's hope. That covers it that way,
So you're basically negotiating.
Right.
You're saying not to raise the
all you
price,
can do.
that appraiser said he watches for that.
Yeah, it's on the list.
Yeah, we love Brent, but don't listen to him. No, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
So also real
Okay.
quick on so say you put 3 bananas on your BBRA, your clients have signed it, you submit an offer for 3 bananas, and they kick it back. Well, what you can do is now that becomes a buyer's closing cost. You give that BBRA to the lender, have this conversation before you accept that offer, and now say the buyer is going to pay that 3%, and it becomes a buyer closing cost. So if the seller has already given them 3% towards closing costs, now the buyer's coming in with 3% more in closing costs to pay for your commission. So it's not always a done deal because they said no to the commission. So just keep that in mind. It's all moving the money around, and sometimes sellers just don't want to pay the commission. So you're gonna ask for 5% in closing seller contribution, and it's just gonna cover you just don't know, so you're just trying to rework it and how it is, but don't stress about it. I mean, like Tim has said multiple times, there's gonna be very few sellers that are not going to pay a commission. It's been like this for 100 years. They understand that's where it's coming from. But Ricky made a statement yesterday, which I thought was kind of interesting. He says, when you tell the buyers, you've always been paying that commission. It's been in the sales price. So I was like, okay, because buyers think, I've never had to pay it. Well, yeah, you did. It's in the sales price. Because they priced their home allotting for this listing and the buyer's commission. So it's really already in there. It's just now they just don't want to say that's what they're paying for.
So if I put an offer in and I don't ask for closing costs, but I ask for my whatever bananas, and then the seller counter offers that he's not paying my commission, then I can
Counter back and say, hey, I want 3% in seller closing costs. They're probably going to catch on, but say, well, now my buyer has more expenses, so now they have to pay it.
Ask for both up front.
Yeah, and then they'll take one out.
Exactly, ask for both up front.
You're all going to become master negotiators here. I swear to God. You're really going to be really good at negotiating.
Selling, are the listeners.
We're almost out of here, gang. 2 more minutes.
So,
Get late.
reverse it, if you are on the listing side and you get an offer, and let's say you really only wanna pay 2 bananas, okay? And they want closing costs as well, I mean, you could basically, if whatever your counter is, let's say, because they're asking for 3 plus closing costs, you can even educate that other agent if they're not as savvy and say to them, look, this is all we wanna pay, but we wanna make this work. Have you been pre-qualified, has your buyer been pre-qualified, and is there money that they can finance, right? Because obviously there can be something on that side they can pick up.
Have your buyer
Yeah.
talk to the lender and see if he can get
Because
some of this
it's
covered
not
on
like
your
we're
end.
saying no, we just don't want free bananas.
Hey, gang, it's a moving target. You know, it's a moving target. Right, Maria?
Any rules on bank-owned or probate, any difference? Or
No, not that I know of.
bank will disclose they're gonna pay, or we have to?
Put it in the offer. You put it in the offer. That's all we can really do. Yeah, you know, so. All right, gang. We're good?
Hello.
That would be nice, the listing.
Maybe you can explain to your seller for 100+ years, we've been doing this. If you want a good offer, that buyer's agent deserves to get something. I don't
Part
know
of your
what
marketing
it's gonna
plan.
be. Are we still giving them a net sheet with
You-
just our?
You're gonna become a master at net sheets.
You can do both.
You know?
One with just
Right,
your,
Brad?
I personally would add that buyer's commission into my net sheet and say worst case scenario, and I would put it at a higher percentage, worst case scenario, so then when you get one that comes in, say, hey, it's less than what I even quoted you on the net sheet.
And this might benefit everyone from my new home experience, just so you know, when you show a new home, the co-op has always been in the price.
And hey, she came late, everybody. Nora, anything good, anything bad, anything real quick?
60 seconds, 60 seconds.
Yeah.
60 seconds. Look, I know you have a lot of negotiating to do these days. Please do not, just keep the whole warranty out. Buyers more than ever need a home warranty today. Do me a favor.
They do.
Your buyer wants a home warranty, you're not negotiating it on the RPA. Let's talk outside of escrow. I can set them up on monthly payments and activate the day of the home closing. So they still get protection, you're still getting risk mitigation, and everyone's happy.
There you go. All right, gang. Thank you all. See you soon.